This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
Right now at 7, RTV6 is learning about the charges against an Indiana grandfather who police say dropped his young granddaughter from the 11th floor of a cruise ship. A judge has ordered the arrest of Salvatore Anello for negligent homicide. Prosecutors submitted evidence that shows the 2-year-old girl fell after Anello raised her up to an open window. The family was on board Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas docked in Puerto Rico when it happened. Anello will appear in court on November 20th. Good evening, I'm Amanda Starantino. Indigo buses are arriving late, making riders late to work. That's what one viewer who reached out to us for help says. Now today, we went to work to get to the bottom of this. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is working for you to see what might be causing these delays.
A rider is trying to get to the bottom of why her bus is frequently late. She says she's filed 4 complaints online with Indigo, but says she's never gotten a response.
At least two to 3 times a week.
That it's late.
Yeah.
Deborah Mosley rides the bus daily to and from work downtown, but says it's frustrating when the bus is late, often making her late to work. She says she pays $60 a month to ride Indigo, but feels she can't rely on it when it comes at inconsistent times.
The day that the bus didn't come at all, there was a lady that was on the bus with 2 small children. It was very cold outside, and she had a lot to say about the fact that her and her 2 small children were standing outside waiting, in the cold for this bus. So, it's affecting a lot of people.
Indigo tells me in a statement, quote, Indigo is committed to improving the quality of service we provide to our riders. Indigo recognizes that sometimes incidents do occur that impact service quality. Traffic conditions, weather, and the number of bus operators and their driving styles are all variables that contribute to the customer experience. Indigo's quality assurance team does investigate each complaint individually to identify the root cause of the reported problem. They tell me they have received Mosley's complaints and say she will receive a personalized phone call. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
If there is something affecting your life and you feel like no one can help, connect with RTV6. Send us a message on Facebook or an email at workingforyou@rtv6.com, and we will try to look into that problem. RTV6 is learning more about how Indigo plans to make medians along the red line stronger after found them ripped up and damaged in Broad Ripple this weekend. Local business owners say drivers flat out ignore the median while driving along College Avenue in Broad Ripple. It got us wondering about the cost of each section of median barrier and how many have been replaced. Indigo tells RTV6 that those medians are under warranty. The construction contractor has been replacing them at their cost, so it hasn't been costing taxpayers a thing. Indigo says, however, it wants to make the medians more durable. And now Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us now with a look at our forecast. Hey, Kevin.
And a decent day today across central Indiana. Amanda, some of us had more sunshine than others. Look what temperatures did with more sunshine. Jumped into the 60s while it stayed in the 50s in western and southwestern portions of the state. That was then. Let's talk about what's happening now. There's your shield of clouds covering most of the state along the eastern state line with Ohio and Kentucky. We've still got a decent amount of clear skies. Eventually the clouds will win out in the tug of war. 54 in Logansport, 54 in Kokomo. Anderson's at 61. Same situation here in the southern portion of the viewing area. Spencer at 54, 61 in Seymour for tonight. Headed into the upper 40s, not as cool as we have been. The wind will be light during the day tomorrow. Temperature bounces back to 60. Not ruling out a couple of sprinkles through the morning hours tomorrow in the afternoon. See this little thin line here? Could have a couple of sprinkles. The clouds will be around just like today. And your temperature trend all the way into the middle to upper 50s for the high.
The search continues for the driver who hit and killed a little girl while her parents watched her play outside their West Side home. It happened on North Exeter Avenue near West 17th Street Sunday evening. Investigators say the 21-month-old girl was playing in her driveway when a vehicle heading south hit her and kept driving. Police say the suspect is a male driving a 4-door gray or gold vehicle. Anyone who may know anything is urged to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Tonight, RTV6 is looking into a problem that is frustrating business owners in Broad Ripple. One woman says her business is struggling after being targeted by thieves at least 4 times. Robin Landon runs L2 Acquisitions, LLC. She manages properties and flips homes. She says the thefts are getting out of hand. Several AC units have been stolen, and all of the brand new appliances were stolen from one of her properties. Landon says she is trying to take every precaution to guard against the theft, but it doesn't seem to stop these criminals.
We have been chaining down our AC units with pretty thick chain, and then we concrete them in on the sides. Obviously, that wasn't enough. We were shocked. I was offended. We're tired of getting robbed.
Robin says she believes thieves are targeting homes that seem to be empty or on the market. She says the thefts are affecting when she can turn or sell homes, and that in turn affects her bottom line. New developments today in a fraudulent driveway paving operation uncovered by Call 6 Investigates. Santanio Glick of Awesome Asphalt was scheduled to appear in court today to plead guilty to at least one of the charges against him. Glick is charged with corrupt business influence, theft, and home improvement fraud. He failed to show up today, and now a warrant is out for his arrest. Glick's home detention screen turned up positive for a cocktail of drugs, including morphine, codeine, heroin, and fentanyl. Glick's business partners, Natalie Davis, was sentenced earlier this month to 6 months in jail and paid the victims $7,500 in restitution. And a woman is in critical condition after police say she was ejected from a vehicle during a crash and landed on the roof of a home. This happened around 12:30 this afternoon near North Parker Avenue and East 37th Street. Witnesses told police the car was heading north on Parker when the driver seemed to lose control. The car hit a parked vehicle and went airborne, flipping into a house. A woman was thrown from the car and onto the roof. The driver and 2 young kids, ages 3 years old and 2 months, were also taken to the hospital. In Carmel, fire crews worked today trying to figure out what caused a house fire that sent 2 people to the hospital. This happened around 4:30 this morning at a home on Jennings Drive. That's near Main Street and Gray Road in Carmel. A mother and her son were taken from the home and to a hospital. A police officer also was treated at the scene for smoke inhalation. All 3 are expected to be okay. Contractors for the Indiana Department of Child Services say they have not been fully paid in almost 3 months. RTV6 was first to report those problems, and we are keeping a close eye on this situation. DCS confirms it has been reviewing payment processing for several months, along with the Auditor of State. That has led to some processing delays. DCS says they are working on the issue, but cannot say when it will be fully resolved. We will continue following up with them to see when this problem is fixed. The Indianapolis Humane Society is changing up a facility that will help pet owners keep their furry friends healthy and happy. The former Indy Humane Animal Welfare Center reopened today as the Indy Humane Downtown Clinic. The clinic provides low-cost health services and low-cost pet care supplies. Indy Humane received a grant in July and used that money to improve its spay-neuter operations and rebrand the clinic. Iconic race car driver John Andretti is not letting his ongoing battle with cancer slow down his work for Riley Hospital for Children. Today, Andretti joined others in announcing that this year's race for Riley raised more than $360,000. It's something the racing star has been passionate about for more than 2 decades.
And we couldn't be more proud of where it's come to, because the Race for Riley is not a foundation. Every dollar that's donated goes directly to Riley Hospital for Children.
The Race for Riley now encompasses 3 days of events that include an auction, a party for Riley kids, and the annual go-kart race at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Coming up, extremely dangerous fire conditions have prompted a statewide emergency in California, the latest on the major fires forcing people from their homes. Plus, we will explain why Purdue researchers are trying to get farmers back on the horse when it comes to hemp.
Working for you.
This is the news at 7 on RTV6. Firefighters in California are working tirelessly to fight wildfires in both the north and the south. A fire in Los Angeles broke out overnight, shutting down a stretch of the 405 freeway. And in Northern California, thousands of firefighters are trying to get a handle on the Kincaid fire. ABC's Elena Gomez brings us the latest.
The Getty Fire in Los Angeles shut down southbound lanes of one of America's busiest highways, the 405 freeway. The fire charring hundreds of acres and at least 5 homes in just hours in the area of Brentwood, home to some of the most expensive homes in the country. Basketball all-star LeBron James forced to evacuate early this morning, along with former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I went out on my deck and I looked to the left and I saw this huge inferno of fire and smoke. in flames.
Thousands of residents were told to evacuate. The mayor of Los Angeles telling people to take these notices seriously.
If you have the evacuation notice and you're listening to me right now and you're still in your home, leave.
Los Angeles firefighters continue to work tirelessly to keep the fire at bay as windy conditions continue through the week.
We expect another Santa Ana wind event to come through on Wednesday and Thursday that will be very strong. So we're going to be working around the clock to extinguish as many hot spots as we can.
And up north, the Kincaid fire still burning strong at more than 66,000 acres in the wine region of Sonoma County. Hundreds of thousands of people have been forced to evacuate, with many more still without power as windy, fiery conditions continue to take over the region, destroying nearly 100 structures. Here at the command post in Brentwood, California, you can see fire engines lined up here. Hundreds of firefighters ready to offer their help here in Southern California. Elena Gomez, ABC News, Brentwood, California.
And as we are learning more about the raid that killed the leader of ISIS, one family says it's giving them some closure tonight. Reports say Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi blew himself up as special forces closed on him this weekend. That raid was named for American Kayla Mueller. She traveled to the border of Syria and Afghanistan in 2012 for humanitarian work. Her family says she was kidnapped by ISIS and assaulted by al-Baghdadi. They believe she is dead, though her body was never found. The Mueller family says they are thankful for everyone involved in the weekend operation. Coming up, it's a process that could help people who battle mental health issues inside this proven alternative therapy that awakens certain parts of your brain to put depression to sleep.
And rain back in the forecast, when it will arrive in the state, how much to expect, and when we may mix in some snow showers as well. Coming up.
Shine brighter than you ever thought possible. This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
It's been almost a century since this crop was farmed on a large scale in Indiana, but the legalization of hemp in the Hoosier state has caused researchers to realize just how little we know about the plant. That's why Purdue is working to change that, and scientists there are doing it with the first USDA grant to study organic hemp production. Nearly $1 million is going towards research, hemp crop rotation, soil conservation, timing, planting, and other factors that go into growing a successful crop. There is no legal pesticide for hemp either, so this is all about finding organic options to produce the healthiest crops. Well, depression can come in many forms and looks different depending on who you are. Some people with depression don't recognize the symptoms, while others don't want to take medication. Tonight, RJ's Larson is looking at a proven alternative treatment.
I knew that I felt different.
Wendy Moreno has struggled on and off with depression ever since she was a child. 4 years ago, after a traumatic experience, she decided that she needed some professional help again. She went to therapy and got on medication, but she didn't really feel like it was working.
I was just at a point where I wanted to try something new.
That's when her therapist told her about something called transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Waking up that area of the brain that's underactive in patients with depression.
The FDA-approved machine delivers a series of magnetic pulses to the area of the brain that's involved in depression.
It's not very hard. It just taps. It's just like something kind of tapping.
Dr. Melissa Fickey explains TMS is ideal for people who have tried medication.
Sometimes the medication may not get to the area of the brain involved in depression, and or they may not tolerate the medications due to side effects.
Dr. Fickey says more than half of TMS patients are cured of depression after their first treatment, which consists of sessions 5 days a week for 6 weeks. Each session lasts about 20 minutes.
Something I see in society that's sad is someone might be on a medicine for years, and they feel they're actually doing okay, but that okay is not full remission from depression.
Wendy was able to get off sleep medication and is now back into exercising.
I think for me, it was more of a natural way, and I'm not crying like I was a few weeks back.
I'm Jace Larson reporting.
And now
Facebook is unveiling a new feature designed to remind users to take care of themselves. The new preventative health tool will use your age and gender to recommend which checkups and tests you should schedule to stay healthy. The tool will let you check off which tests have been done, like mammograms or cholesterol tests, and you can set reminders for your next checkup. Facebook says it's working with groups like the American Cancer Society and the American Heart Association to provide accurate and helpful information. It's a new project that could keep about 30 tons of waste from ending up in Indiana landfills every year. The White River State Park is creating a recycling initiative. It calls for the installation of recycling bins throughout the park. The initiative was developed by student intern Megan Ziegler, a junior at IUPUI. Ziegler did a waste audit of the park in order to determine the best spots for these bins. Now 10 recycling cans will be installed at spots in the park.
In first place with a score of 92.2, the 2019 Bands of America Indianapolis Super Regional Champion, the Avon High School Marching Band of Avon, Indiana.
And the crowd goes wild. Out of 84 bands from across the Midwest, Avon turned out to be the best. The marching black and gold took top honors at the Bands of America Super Regional Competition at Lucas Oil Stadium. Avon just beat out last year's champions from Carmel High School. Other Indiana schools finishing high in the competition include the Spartans of Fort Wayne. Homestead, they were 5th. Fishers High School was 8th, followed by the Marching Pride of Lawrence Township. Bands of America will be back at Lucas Oil in 3 weeks for the Grand National Finals, featuring bands from across the country.
Way to go, Orioles. 8 schools represented there. That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, for us, I think the day to bang on the drum all day might be Wednesday because it'll be wet again. You won't want to get outside as much, just like we had our Saturday, which was rain-filled, over 2 inches. We've got more rain on the way. Wednesday and Thursday, most likely time may mix with some snow showers before coming to an end. More on that in a second. Then much colder as we get to Friday. Temperatures will drop below freezing over the weekend. The big picture for the rainfall right now looks like the heaviest axis of heaviest rain may be in northern portions of Kentucky along the Ohio River, less as you come to the northwest, but still another soaking rain is on the way. Snow out near Omaha, Nebraska. Kansas City's getting a rain-snow mix now, and that stretches to the north and east on up into western Lake Superior. For us, temperatures in the 50s. In the eastern portion of the state, we've pointed out you've been a few degrees warmer all day long with more sunshine through the day. The clouds rolled in early, kind of cutting off any afternoon heating in western Indiana. 61 the average high, and you see what happens. Temperatures tomorrow close to 60, and the slide goes on. And I think during the day on Thursday, our temperatures will be falling. We'll make it into the 50s, but fall from there, setting up a very cold but dry Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow, lots of clouds again. We may have a few sprinkles or very light showers in the morning hours into the early afternoon. Then the clouds just kind of sit in place. Temperatures tomorrow, 57 at noon. There won't be much of a temperature range, maybe 10 degrees from what you wake up to, and the afternoon high temperature at 60 degrees, but cooler than that to the north and west, 53 from Lafayette to Monticello, Frankfort, Delphi, Kokomo, Peru, while temperatures almost 10 degrees warmer as you go to the south and east. Wednesday, it will be a wet day. We're used to that. We'll see widespread rainfall, temperatures stuck in the low 50s in central Indiana, cooler to the northwest, warmer to the southeast. You see the theme there. A couple days in a row that'll happen. Here's the rain moving in primarily in the afternoon and evening hours, becoming most widespread through 11 o'clock. We'll continue with the rain as we get to Thursday. There's your rainfall potential just through Wednesday night. That's not adding on to Thursday. Thursday temperatures peak early in the day. Then as temperatures fall during the evening hours, again, rain-snow mix potential from Illinois across northern half of Indiana into Michigan. That moves away. It will also, let me just say this, be windy for trick-or-treaters. You'll need the umbrella, and that falling temperature means mom and dad will need to stay warm too, and hopefully the kids have an outfit that will allow them. They move pretty quickly, so they'll stay. They'll build up some heat, you know. But then 20s for morning lows Saturday and Sunday.
Eek.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Plan ahead. Still ahead, it's one of those small pleasures in life when an independent movement can match up with the beat of a song. How one technology buff has figured out how to keep your car dancing. That's next, right here on RTV6. We'll be right back.
300 Empire. Today.
This is the news at 7 on RTV6. It's a simple movement, but the technology to control it is pretty complicated. One man has figured out how to sync your windshield wipers to the beat of the music in your car. A tiny computer in the trunk uses an artificial intelligence program to detect your music's beat. Every time there's a pulse, another program varies the voltage going to the wiper blades, making them dance. The guy who came up with this says a simple movement for you is way more complex for artificial intelligence to grasp.
As a human being, you can do that almost naturally. Right? This comes naturally. Computers need a lot of help to recognize the beat.
The invention has gone viral, with the investor's YouTube video getting tens of thousands of views. He says he hopes his ideas will get younger minds involved in STEM and ready to see problems and create solutions.
You think that would be distracting?
Totally. I'd be very distracted. Putting on my Taylor Swift to go back and forth.
You just have to sit in the parking lot and not move and enjoy that feature. Okay, I was going to take Candy for a walk this evening during my forecast.
She doesn't look excited about it.
Already. It appears I showed up at an inopportune time. We'll try again later, Candy. Temperatures around 50 by 11.
She's like, it's cold out, Kevin.
Too cold.
We'll see you at 11.